Tell me, the abbot asked, raising his lantern toward the silent crowd, if your life burned to ashes tonight, would you rebuild the same structure again tomorrow? The disciples froze, because the question wasn't about destruction. It was about truth. The abbot continued, most people are living inside rooms they didn't design, walking hallways built by other people's expectations, following blueprints that were never theirs. A quiet stillness fell. So I ask you again, whose life are you truly building? We are challenging the conventional blueprint of a well-lived life, the abbot said, his voice echoing through the ancient stone hall. Instead of asking how to live, we must ask what it truly means to design an existence aligned with your deepest aspirations. He stepped closer, robe sweeping the floor like flowing parchment. This is not about small tweaks or polite improvements. It is a radical act, a full deconstruction of the limiting beliefs you inherited, followed by the rebirth of a personal renaissance, a life built from the ground up, with intention, truth, and purpose. The disciples leaned in. The followers sit before the abbot. The monastery was quiet. Golden morning light slipped through the arches. Dust floated like tiny sparks of awakening. The followers sat cross-legged on the stone floor, waiting for wisdom. The abbot lifted a piece of fractured pottery. This, he said, is how most people live, cracked by expectation, shattered by comparison, held together by fear. He dropped it. The clay shattered. But this, he whispered, is where the architect within you begins, the parable of the young builder. Let me tell you a story, the abbot said, a story about a young man named Solon. Solon was born into a village where every life was predetermined. Children became whatever their parents had been. Dreams were called distractions. Ambition was considered arrogance. And the safest life was the only acceptable one. Solon did what he was told. He followed the village blueprint. Study, work, stay small, don't question the rules. But every night, he felt an ache in his chest, a blueprint of another life calling to him. One day, while collecting timber, he discovered an abandoned structure deep in the forest, a half-built home of breathtaking vision. The walls were angled toward the rising sun. The windows framed the sky. The foundation was different, wider, deeper, intentional. It was unlike anything he'd ever seen. What kind of builder creates this? Solon whispered. A voice answered, one who refuses to build in fear. An old architect stepped forward. White beard, sharp eyes, hands covered in the dust of creation. Did the village teach you that? The old man asked. Solon shook his head. They taught me to build only what is safe. The architect sighed. Then you were taught to survive, not to live. And for the next 7 days, the architect trained Solon. He taught him how to see beyond walls, how to dream in structure, how to design with purpose, not approval, how to shape the invisible before shaping the visible. But the most important lesson, the architect said, is this: you are not building a house, you are building a life. Solon realized something profound. His village never lacked resources. It lacked imagination. When he returned home, the villagers mocked him. Who do you think you are? They asked. A builder of fantasies? But Solon no longer lived in a mental home built by fear. He began creating structures unlike anything the village had ever known. Homes filled with sunlight, hope, and possibility. Soon, people wanted to learn, not how to build like Solon, but how to see like Solon. And the old architect's final lesson returned to him. To unlock your inner architect, you must first demolish the prisons in your mind. Breakdown of wisdom, the Abbot's 5 core lessons. The abbot turned to his followers. "Salin's story is not fiction," he said. "It is your story." 1. You must question the blueprint you inherited. Your fears, your habits, your limits, most of them are not yours. They were handed to you. Release them. 2. You cannot build a new life with old beliefs. You must tear down the internal walls erected by shame, doubt, and comparison. A new future requires a new foundation. 3. The architect sees possibilities others overlook. Train your mind to notice light where others see shadow, opportunity where others see risk, doors where others see walls. 4. Purpose must guide your construction. A life built without purpose collapses under pressure. Purpose is the invisible force that holds every beam in place. 5. You are the builder and the building. You are designing the life you will one day walk into. Every choice is a brick. Every habit is mortar. Every fear you resist becomes a window for light to enter. The abbot raised his voice. Stop waiting for permission. Stop building replicas of someone else's dream. This is the hour you awaken your inner architect. This is where you choose the life you will create. Brick by brick, truth by truth. He leaned forward. Your future waits for the moment you finally decide to design it. The lantern flame flickered as he whispered, "You were not born to live inside limits. You were born to redesign them." If this opened your mind today, share your thoughts below. What part challenged you the most? Your comment might guide someone else on their journey. See you in the next chapter.